They might have some magic in the air tonight as they try to clinch the National League East. The Nationals are trying to delay what many feel is the inevitable. 6 up with 6 to go. They've clinched a playoff spot, but they need that one win or an Atlanta loss tonight against the Marlins to win the division. Bob Carpenter, Ray Knight, you've been on both sides of these scenarios before. It's always interesting, but the Nats trying to be the ultimate spoilers right here.
Well, they are. They're playing well and pitching well, hitting well. Defense has been pretty solid. Tonight, John Lannon goes for his 9th win for the 3rd year in the row. And he is pitching so much better, Bob. He's been able to go inside with the fastball, which is something he tried or decided to do from Double-A after his demotion. And his breaking ball has been excellent, as has his changeup.
John Lannon 8-7 with a 4.58. Really good lately. He's never beaten the Phillies. 0 for 7 in 10 starts. Here's one for you, Ray. 27 times Roy Halladay's gone 7 innings or more this year. Yeah,
and that doesn't surprise me, as he's averaged 234 innings over the last 9 years, and amongst the league leaders in everything. The 20 wins, ties for league, 241 innings, obviously first in the league. Just doesn't walk anybody. And if you look for one guy to epitomize what they call a workhorse and an ace, this is the guy you look for.
Workhorse, ace, horse, you name it. Hey, the Nats have some of those guys in the bullpen. 3 innings with no runs yesterday. Sean Burnett and Drew Storen. And Drew told me that sinker was going pretty well yesterday, like Burnett's was. For the season, the bullpen, ERA 3.31. Think possible. A lot of possibilities in this final week of the Major League Baseball season. Playoff teams, wild card clubs fighting right down to the wire. Now the Phillies are going to win the division. Everybody knows that. But when? The Nats trying to stop this lineup tonight. Jayson Werth at the Nationals this year. It's just ridiculous what he's hitting. Now he's 385, 9th in the league in on-base percentage. He's hit 7 home runs in September. And maybe the most memorable one was a week ago Sunday against the Nationals in Philadelphia. John Lannon, 0-7, 6.06 ERA, 10 career starts against the Phillies. Shane Victorino batting right-handed at .325. He'll step in to lead off the ball game. 3rd in the league in triples, 3rd in stolen bases. Jimmy Rollins still on his way back. He did make a pinch hitting appearance yesterday in Philadelphia. Game's underway right on time, 7:05. Weather in the area, chance of showers, but a comfortable 75 degrees under cloudy skies. 2-0. And John Lennon cannot nibble against this lineup tonight. The rookie umpire, Todd Tishner, calls it a strike. At first base, Gary Cederstrom, the crew chief, Ed Hickox at second, Field and Culbreth third base. Target in. He missed his spot, and it's 3-1.
Victorino 333 lifetime against John Lannon. No extra base hits, Bob. Just one RBI.
Couple of walks. You don't want to add to that total here. And it's in the air to center. This is not Philadelphia, folks. That's an out here.
PNC Bank scouting report shows you the keys to John Lannon achieving success. 0 for 7 against the Phillies in 10 career starts. Let's do something about that, John. Walking small, 3.4 Ks to walk ratio since the All-Star break, when he was actually walking more than he was striking out. Many happy returns since his recall from AA. 6-2 with a 3.16. 7 games, 2 runs or fewer, and actually in 9 of his last 10 games, Robert, 3 runs or less.
Nice numbers. The trend needs to continue, though, against the toughest lineup in the league. And a strike to Polanco, who's hitting .295. Placido Polanco has 49 multi-hit games on the year, 7th best in the league. 33 career games against the Nationals for different ball clubs. He's hit safely in 30 of them.
Well, they make you pitch. They don't swing at bad balls.
He's a spray hitter, and that's a base hit. It seems like whenever you face the Phillies, one of those two guys at the least is on base for Utley and Howard coming up.
It seems that way because it is that way.
Bernadina picked up that ball. Morse in right, Niger in center. Desmond Espinosa up the middle. Alberto Gonzalez again for Ryan Zimmerman and Jim Riggleman in a minute today. It's starting to look like Zimmerman may not play the rest of the year, and there's Wilson Ramos behind the plate. So John Lennon faces the brains of the Philadelphia operation in Chase Utley. Phillies have 2 good on-base guys. Utley at .391, Worth in the 5-hole at .385, and Ryan Howard in between.
Spoke to Joe McIlvaine, the former assistant general manager with the Mets, general manager with the San Diego Padres tonight, and he said that he just came off of watching 6 games that the Phillies played, and he said Charlie just lets them play. He said nobody tried to steal. There wasn't any hit and runs. Puts the same lineup out there every day, and he just lets them play 9 innings, and generally they come out on top. Breaking ball, bouncing hard, kicking away from him with that spin. Usually that ball kicks back a little bit. That ball kind of scooted like the ground was real hard.
Field remained uncovered most of the afternoon. Just a few sprinkles here. There was no batting practice by either ball club on the field. And that one is inside to Chase Utley, 2-1. Phillies, by the way, hitting .259. That's only 4 points higher than the Nats. But they've scored 731 runs. Only the Reds and the Rockies have scored more. They're 4th in the league in homers. Polanco at second base with 1 out. Chase Utley has driven in 61 runs. Long sequence of signs, and Utley calls, at least asks for time.
And you will see these Phillies constantly, at least in my opinion, and what I've observed over not just this season, but the last 3 seasons, hit ahead in the count more than anybody. No matter how good control you have, they just don't swing at balls just off the plate.
That's in there to Utley, who crowds the plate. And that's good location up and into him. There was nothing he could do with that pitch.
That's the one place you can pitch him, is really tied up and in. The previous pitch was in a good spot. And when you're that close to the plate, it's it's almost impossible to get on that pitch. Now, if it's down, he can drop the head to it. But up underneath those letters, that tight to him, hard to do anything with.
And then if you work him away, he'll do what he did in the 9th inning in that game at Philly. He'll just hit one down the line.
Well, he's one of the smartest players in the league, not only hitting defensively, just sitting there with a bunch of scouts tonight over dinner, and they made the statement that they thought Chase Utley was the best base runner in the league. Now, you're starting to get to be the quickest bat, the best base runner, one of the best second basemen.
Smartest guy around.
The smartest guy.
Maybe he should be the next commissioner.
That's funny.
3-2 as Lannon went soft. Just a little. Took a little bit off the fastball,
and
not much.
And not a bad pitch. Bottom of the strike zone, but they just are that patient.
I'm going to start a campaign. Chase Utley, retire after the season, become commissioner.
I'm going to be on that
board.
There
will be pitchers all over that one.
Yeah, you won't have any problem getting board members for that one.
3-2 with one out. He fooled him with an off-speed breaking ball.
Beauty.
John Lannon freezing Chase Utley, 2 outs.
Never showed him the breaking ball, went fastballs and changeups, and drops a curveball on him. 3-2, almost down the middle of the plate. That ball covers the whole plate from inside to outside, and Chase just locked up. And that, a lot of that has to do with, Bob, as you pointed out, that fastball up and in. It's hard to sit on something soft when you know that he can come in on you.
I think that up and in pitch set up the rest of the at-bat. And Lannon gets his first K. Ryan Howard, 7th in the league in homers, 4th in RBIs.
Don't you think that's been the biggest difference since he's been back, is the ability to throw inside?
Yeah, and he never had strikeouts like this before. Now, John Lannon still has too many walks on the year compared to the strikeouts. 69 strikeouts, 48 walks. But the ratio is improving.
Another
I think for a left-hander
strike.
like Lannon, I'm not taking anything away from Ryan Howard here, but this is the hitter you want to end the inning. You don't want to go to the number 5 guy.
Yeah, he has not been very successful. 9 strikeouts there, 208. I remember him waving at breaking balls. I believe it was Lannon's first start in Philadelphia when he hit Utley on a pitch inside and broke his wrist, that he struck out Ryan Howard on 2 big breaking balls.
1-1 with 2 outs. And Howard identifies the breaking pitch and lays off. Let's see. About 3 minutes ago, they got underway in Atlanta. The Marlins are down there taking on the Braves. Sanabia and Hansen. Atlanta has to keep winning to stay in that wild card race. And a 2-1 pitch to Ryan Howard. A fastball that misses low.
Bob, go back to your base and balls and strikeouts with John. How many did you say you had this year, base and balls?
Well, right now, 69 over 48.
Okay, because last year he had 68 over 89. I mean, 89 strikeouts, 68 walks last
That's
year.
about a 4-to-3 ratio. Right now, he's at about 3-2.
Right.
Howard jacks one to center. Nigel Morgan right there. Nats out of the inning. John Lannon puts a 0 on the board against the mighty Phils. pitches, but he gets the 0. And the Nats will face one of the best in the business, if not the best. With this lineup, Michael Morse, since the end of August, really getting it done. .348 his last 27 games. He's hitting .296. And the rest of the Nats lineup, and the glaring weakness, or the missing link, of course, is Ryan Zimmerman. So here's Roy Halladay against Danny Espinosa. Halladay pitched against the Nats here on opening day. 7 innings, 1 run on 6 hits. And he gave up that run among the first 3 hitters of the game. When Nyjer Morgan singled, stole second, scored on a Ryan Zimmerman double, and he shut down the Nats the rest of the day in a blowout 11-1. Espinosa sees him for the first time in this ballpark. That sounds like a broken bat.
4 basic pitches. The sinker, and you're going to see him just pound all night long. A cutter that you saw right there. The curveball and the changeup. Wow.
Overall against the Montreal and Washington franchise, 7-1 with a 2.20. And a 1-2 to Espinosa. A little bit low. I remember talking to Ryan Zimmerman around the cage right before game 2 of the season after the Nats had faced Halladay. And I said, what was it like to face him? Little chopper by the mound. Utley gets him in time. And Ryan Zimmerman said, you see the ball well from Roy Halladay, but he never misses his spot.
Utley charging hard, catching the ball, rounding it so that he has the easy toss. And rounding it, mean by that he circles the ball to get it on the outside of his left foot, which is the side of his glove, which allows him to be in complete body control.
Nyjer Morgan hitting .259. But I thought that was interesting, Ray, to hear that from Ryan, and then subsequently from other hitters, that when Roy throws to you, you see the ball, but it's always where it's supposed to be. He hardly ever makes a mistake out over the plate.
Yeah, there are a lot of pitchers that you feel fairly comfortable against because you do see the ball. Their delivery is that they show you the ball early, especially if they're on top. But the location, and it doesn't matter if you're looking there or not, the location is so acute that you have a tendency not to be able to hit that ball hard. And it's not always in the same spot. He's going to move it in and out. He doesn't throw 2 pitches. Seldom does he throw 2 pitches in the same spot.
How about this on the year? 213 strikeouts. Second in the National League, and only 30 walks. So he wasn't too worried about going 3-1 on Nyjer Morgan. 2 quick outs on ground balls.
PNC Bank Scouting Report is brought to you by PNC for the achiever in us all. Almost perfect. That's not about his perfect game. 13-1 against the NL East. That's the division that he has to beat. Numero uno in innings pitched, complete games, shutouts, tied for first in wins with 20. 1-2, 1 earned run in 15 of his starts. Unreal. 2 earned runs in 19 of his 32 starts. So he doesn't give up much. When he does, he usually gives it up early.
Here's Ian Desmond hitting .277. And Halladay pounds him down and in twice.
And if you look through Halladay's stats, so many of them are impressive. The 20 wins, 2.53 earned run average, the 32 starts, the 3 shutouts. But opposition's hitting .250 against him. And that is not what I was expecting to see. I would think 220, 218 in that area.
I think he's around the plate so much. Guys do get their hits.
He had 229 hits, Bob, in 241 innings.
The problem is getting another hit in the same inning.
Yes.
That's way outside, 2-2.
I can't help but to remember the game that he started off with Niger getting on first. Then Halladay balked. Niger's on second with no one out. And then Halladay walked a couple of guys to set up a double play situation, and the Nationals scored no runs. He just was not going to give in with that runner on third base and no one out. He walks the next two hitters.
Desmond, after a couple of low strikes, takes a high fastball in the strike zone. Desmond and the Nats are gone, and the first inning is history. No score in Washington. Okay, get the ball game in, play some more tomorrow. Beautiful night, though, 75 degrees at game time. And here's Jason Worth to lead off the second for the Phillies, and don't relax too much here. Worth at 292, 71 extra base hits, 6 in the league. He's 5th in runs, 2nd in doubles. Ooh, does he swing from the heels?
Yeah, he doesn't play up there. 44 doubles, 25 home runs. Stolen 12 bases out of 15.
And they keep saying in Philadelphia they can't afford to re-sign him. Come on.
If they can't afford to sign him, who can?
Oh my. When he's swinging like that, that's to about 5 rows from the top of the seats out near the concourse. That's number 26. Phillies 1-0.
You're talking about somebody who needs to be brushed back. You know, I mean,
he's another guy that gets hardly ever pitch up and in.
You got to make him move his feet around. He is swinging the bat like he's in Little League against us.
Well, Ray, not too hard to remember what he's done in his last 2 at-bats against the Nationals.
Not too hard. He hit 2 balls as hard as you can hit them. Keeps that ball fair. The ball was inside, but it was up. And he kept that ball way fair, showing that he's not giving it all with that left side. Getting the bat barrel a little bit inside the baseball before he throws that top hand and keeping the ball fair. That was another bolt. That's way back up in there.
Yeah. It comes down about 5 or 6 rows from the top of the seats out there.
Well, just look at that. I mean, there's no swing around that baseball. He actually kept that left side closed to the very last minute, then exploded.
Almost up to our camera. And now quickly 0-2 to Ibanez, hitting .273. 3 of his 15 homers, 10 of his 79 RBIs against the Nats. Breaking ball had him offering, no swing. So the Phillies have hit their 158th home run. The Nats have given up their 140th. And that would have been a home run anywhere. Breaking ball, Ibanez right field line, hooking and coming down. And I think that ball changed directions on Michael Morse. It looked like it was hooking out of play, and then it sort of came back toward the line, and he couldn't get it.
He totally misjudged that ball.
He went up against the wall, and it was behind him.
He looked at the wall. Yeah, he did. He looked to find the wall, and then when he looked back up, that ball had changed directions. The wind is blowing off the Anacostia back towards center field, so wind, field, ground, sun, and fences are what you need to think about when you take the field.
That ball's trouble. Bernadina never got there. And Raul Ibanez continues to hammer the Nationals.
Well, how about that piece of hitting? You take a ball to the wall down the right field line, and then the first pitch you see out away from you, you drive to left central. And that ball's on the outside black. That's just a hitter thinking with you. You go inside, he pulls it. He's thinking, well, he's not going to come back in there. He's going to go away. Guessed right. Hit the ball off the bottom of the wall. Smart hitting ball club. I love to watch this team hit, just not necessarily against us.
Next hitter, Carlos Ruiz. Now here's a number 7 hitter who over 50 ball games is hitting .320 with 38 RBIs. .293 batting average, one of the best offensive seasons by any catcher in baseball. Not as much power as Brian McCann, but driving in an amazing number of runs at this stage of their batting order.
And you would think that Valdez, being a guy that has 3 years in the big leagues, has played in Japan, played in Korea, played in China, has been around 3 different ball clubs, never having really an opportunity to play, 31 years old, and he's hitting .260 substituting for Rollins, with some big base hits against our ball club.
Batting 8th. 0-2 to Ruiz, who has walked more than he has struck out this year. 53 strikeouts, 55 walks. Ibanez, opposite field double over Bernadina's head. I think the flight of that ball fooled Roger, but as Ray said, the wind's blowing out to left from off the river. Breaking ball low, blocked by Ramos, 2-2. By the way, that game in Atlanta delayed by rain. They have not started yet. Marlins Braves. Rain is already washed out the Brewers and the Mets up in New York. So there's weather all up and down the coast tonight. Ball game started at 7:05. 25 minutes later, top of the second. Worth is homered. Ibanez doubling. Ruiz the hitter. Phillies lead 1-0. Ruiz gets jammed. And Gonzalez looking to run her back to second base for the first down. Tomorrow night, game 2 of this series. First 10,000 fans in the ballpark receive a Ryan Zimmerman Mr. Walkoff long sleeve shirt. Visit nationals.com/tickets or 888-632-NATS on your phone. Here's Wilson Valdez hitting in front of Roy Halladay. Valdez has been around for quite a while. 32 years of age. The Phillies, his 11th organization. He had a total of 152 games in the big leagues coming into this year with the White Sox, Mariners, Padres, Dodgers, Mets. He's played in Korea, in Japan. And the Phillies called him up April 14th when Jimmy Rollins went on the DL. Since then, he's been in the lineup quite a bit to the tune of 106 games. 324 at-bats. Jimmy Rollins is at 332. Target in 0-2. And the Phillies, of course, aren't concerned about Jimmy Rollins this week. They want him available next week. The old grinder, Charlie Manuel, his ball club with 93 wins. They would have to have a major collapse this week not to have home field advantage through the playoffs. No swing, says Gary Cederstrom. And the count's 2-2. This will be another long inning for John Lannon.
Held back in that one. You got that one right.
John Lannon, 20 pitches first inning, 18 already here. Nobody works the count like the Phillies. Lannon wants Ramos to start over. That's a changeup. You sure don't want to walk this guy, have Halladay bunt 2 runners ahead and have to face Victorino here. John in the middle of a great turnaround, 6 out of 8 with a 3.16 ERA since coming back early August. But he's never been able to handle the Phillies. He challenges the hitter, broke his bat, and Espinosa throws out Valdez. With 2 outs, Ibanez to third. And don't take Roy Halladay lightly. Coming into this season, as an American leaguer, he had 3 career hits. This year, he has 13, and he's driven in 5 runs. Lannon turns one over on him. Unreachable. No balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball hit to Desmond. Ian slips just as he planted to throw. And the Phillies are gone. But the Jason Worth homer gives them the lead. Dunn, Morse, and Bernadina coming up for the Nats. Bernadina, bottom of the second. And how about the pitchers the Nats have had to face since the Braves came to town? Tim Hudson, Derek Lowe. They got the rookie Brandon Beachy. And then tonight, Roy Halladay. Tomorrow night, Roy Oswalt. Halladay has been perfect this year, Ray. May 29th at Florida.
Well, he had it going, and every time he goes out there, he's capable of a no-hitter because of his great command. Failed to mention that he throws 94 on a bad day. Last play of the game, Juan Castro ranging far to his left.
A 1-0 win. He struck out 11, lowered his ERA to 1.99. He beat Josh Johnson that night, and at the time, his record was 7-3. He's made 32 starts, Ray. 31 times he's gone at least 6 innings. And the one time he didn't, 5 2/3. Just
Mr. Automatic.
Ridiculous numbers. Here's Adam Dunn.
Well, there's few pitchers that can fit in any era, and this guy could go back to the Walter Johnson days because he has that same mentality.
And he'd be perfect in the 60s with Marichal, Gibson, Drysdale, Koufax, Bob Veal. 2-0 to Dunn. Adams hit a home run in his career against Halladay, and he wasn't going to give him a fastball on 2-0. Adam career 4 for 12, 1 homer, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts against Roy. Three and 1.
That cutter, Adam laying off of that a lot better. He went through a part of the season in August for about 3 weeks that he was swinging on everything down and in.
Man, this guy's a softball player on 3 and 1.
But see, Roy throws that fastball moving away from him on the outside part. Probably a ball. Adam doesn't swing at many balls, but one thing that Zim did not mention is, you see him well, and the ball comes in, but what you don't see is that last short 3 or 4 inch movement on that sinker.
And he goes upstairs to strike out Adam Dunn for the 190th time. A Luna double here in the second inning. Get your second room of flooring free. 877-241-LUNA. Put any uniform, any ball cap on him that you may. And back in 07, a season to remember. Will he win the Cy Young again? There is another 20-game winner in the league in Adam Wainwright. And he actually has a lower ERA than Halladay. 11 innings behind him. Wainwright and Halladay came in a dead tie for strikeouts, number 2 to Tim Lincecum. Halladay gets the nod in complete games, 8 to Wainwright's 5. And Ubaldo Jimenez sitting out there as well. He's gone the distance 4 times. Michael Morse will chop a 2-hopper out to Wilson Valdez. That guy gets rid of the ball in a hurry, 2 outs. So we believe that these are the 4 principal guys. Halladay, Wainwright. Now Wainwright's opponent's batting average 224. Halladay coming in 250. But will Roy Halladay get votes because he's on a championship team and Adam Wainwright is not?
I think you have to put a lot into that, Bob.
And Tim Lincecum might be on a championship team. Tim Hudson may be on a wild card team. And of course, Ubaldo Jimenez. Rockies have faded badly over the last week, and they're 4 games behind San Diego and 4.5 behind San Fran.
Well, if there had been an All-Star award or a halftime award, he would have gotten that half-season award. He'd have gotten that hands down.
Unbelievable first half.
Has not been nearly efficient this second half.
He is pitching tonight, by the way, at home against the Dodgers. Colorado has to win every game they have left and then hope for help. 2-2. Roger Bernadina hitting 181 over his last 23 games. Nationals come into this one 12th in the league in runs, 9th in home runs, 9th in batting average at .255. Way inside, but in 2 games against Roy Halladay, 1 run in 16 innings. Make that 14 innings. And in 2 starts against the Nats, he has struck out 14 coming in. 2 already tonight to add on to that total. And Bernadina stays alive with a foul tip. They made him throw 16 pitches in the first inning. He's gone to a full count for the 3rd time. And he doesn't seem real worried about it. 2 Ks around the ground ball by Morse. Jason Worth's homer. You hope that's not the only run the Phillies need tonight. In fact, this is the rest of the season right here. Marquis and Oswald tomorrow night. Detweiler, Joe Blanton Wednesday. Day off Thursday. On to New York. Jordan Zimmerman and Pat Mish. Yudesky Maya Saturday against Mike Pelfrey. Levon the finale against Jonathan Neese on Sunday. So this is John Lannon's last start. Levon will get one more. It'll be fun to see him out there one more time with a chance to win his 11th game of the year. And here's the leadoff man for the Phillies, Shane Victorino, who flied to center first time. Polanco and Utley to follow. High in the zone. That'll even the count 2-2. Phillies have beaten the Nats 10 out of 15 this year. The 6 games in this ballpark, though, a split. The Nats nearly swept them last month here, except for an extra inning game on Sunday. But the Phillies have won 7 of 9 at their ballpark. And since the Nationals came from Montreal in 05, the Phillies 69-38. I failed to call it a winning percentage. It's more of a dominance percentage of .645. Off speed, Victorino way out ahead. High pitch gone already for John. Here comes his 50th. Victorino hacks it right to Gonzalez. Notes from around the league. In the East over there, Yankees, Rays. In the West over here, Giants, Padres. And wild card races, all very close. Cliff Lee for the Rangers in the playoffs next week. They're in for the first time in 11 years. And Troy Tulowitzki, 3 RBIs off the all-time record for September of Babe Ruth. 40 RBIs.
When you start talking about the Babe in any sentence, even in pitching.
Yeah. Some Yankee fan would say, yeah, but Babe Ruth never got to hit in Colorado.
He got to hit in that short porch in Yankee Stadium.
Yes, he did. I'm not sure Troy needs any help from the altitude. 2-1 to Polanco.
He's been unconscious. I mean, for a week in a row, he's hitting 2 home runs every night.
Well, and the timing of his hits. Tying games, giving them a lead, walk-offs.
He plays happy, too, doesn't he? He goes out there and plays with all that emotion.
You know, you never get both of these guys out, do you?
You mentioned that before.
Victorino's 0 for 2, Polanco's 2 for 2. Victorino's 1 for 1, so's Polanco. There's always somebody on base when Utley and Howard come up, or so it seems.
Look at the short stroke. I mean, he has as short a stroke as there is in the game. I mean,
look at him choked up.
Yeah, and it's so simple. I mean, just a little bit of rolling action, and just that stroke is only like 18 inches long, and about 15 of it is flat through the hitting zone.
Well, I know you never played for St. Louis, but they had a man who taught baseball in their organization named George Kissel.
I knew him well, though, Bob.
Well known in baseball circles. When Polanco came up in '98, he said of that young man, he has the best knowledge of the strike zone of any minor league hitter I've ever seen. And 12 years later, he's one of the best hitters in the game. Dunn to the bag for 1, throws into a rundown. Desmond running the runner back, and Polanco is gone. Nats do it well on a 3-6-3 double play, and the Phillies are gone in the top of the 3rd inning. Rain is falling. Adam right to the bag and a step. Good throw, and Desmond does his job. Deposit on 2 season tickets, and you get 2 free for 2011. Go to Nationals.com and check it out. Come to the ballpark. Have all the wings and the fun you want. 202-675-NATS for 2011 season ticket information. Bottom 3, Roy Halladay, 32 pitches, 18 strikes. Inside to Wilson Ramos. And that's number 7 hitter Alberto Gonzalez and John Lannon after him. Great stroke by Ramos into right field. He reached out and got the sweet spot of the bat on that one.
That was a beautiful stroke. You don't see a lot of people take Roy to right field because his sinker is so good. Now that's the slider, and he just stays with it. And watch how that shoulder stays on the ball, head right to the hitting area. Great extension.
Ramos 11 for 40 as a National. And hitting a very respectable 275 in his first 2 months in the big leagues. Next up, Alberto Gonzalez, who in stature and hitting approach is a lot like Polanco. But that's a double play ball. And the bases will be wiped clean with John Lannon coming up on a 4-6-3.
The sinker got him. Throws him the sinkers starting at right at the bottom of the strike zone. Going right on out of the strike zone. And he killed some worms at home plate on that one.
Here's Lannon 4 for 43 on the year. Rain is falling, a very light mist. Now we've heard anywhere from 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock. Rain is supposed to arrive and then stick around for a long time.
This guy knows what he's going to do on every pitch. In that vein, he reminded me of Tom Seaver. Of all the great pitchers that I played with, and Gooden, Nolan Ryan, Sutton, Tom Seaver. Tom Seaver was the thinking man's pitcher. Great arm, slider, changeup, but every pitch had a purpose. And it was a thought-out purpose, and it was all based upon where the bat barrel was. But this guy, he is all business. You talked about hitting. One reason why he's dangerous is he gives in at nothing he does. Maybe the hardest worker in the game.
He's faced 9 batters in 3 innings. The double play erased Ramos. 1-0 Phillies.
Well, Steve McCaddy told me that his pitchers have been pitching more this season inside, and that's something that John Lannon has done a conscious effort of doing.
And he's pitching inside effectively, and that's what I mean. He's hitting the spots where earlier in the year, you know, it's like, oh, I got to throw this ball and get it there. If I don't get it there, they're going to hit it. And now say, I'm going to get it there, and he's just making that one pitch.
He said, too, that John is definitely pitching with more confidence, and if he trusts his stuff, he'll be fine. Bob?
1 run through 3 innings on a Jason Worth home run. He has a double play ball. Ryan Howard leads off, top 4. Howard hit the ball very hard first time, but lined it right at Nyjer Morgan in center. Lannon, by the way, 5 of his last 6 outs on ground balls. Big man's hit 31 on the year, driven in 106. And he's done that 5 years in a row. John goes upstairs, foul tip, he's gone. Ryan Howard is John Lannon's second strikeout victim.
Well, he threw him breaking balls his first time up, and then he goes to the fastball. He chases it out of the strike zone, and he shows even when you throw 88. If you elevate, four-seamer, and you get it up enough, those hitters can't cover it.
Jason Worth has now hit 5 home runs, driven in 10 this year against the Nats. 14 and 30 career, and he's now hit 8 home runs in the month of September. One of the longest homers we've seen to straightaway left field his first time up.
Last year, Howard, Worth, Utley, Ibanez hit 146 home runs. This year, they've hit 88. So they've hit almost 60 home runs less than last year, yet very productive. Only one man with 100 RBIs. That's Howard.
And I think you can attribute some of that, Ray, to the injuries that the Phillies have had all year. Howard was out for a while. Utley, Jimmy Rollins, and Raul Ibanez. The Nets just haven't found a way to get this guy out.
Breaking ball, pulls it right down the line. He drops his head thinking it's out. The wind blows it away from Michael Morse. But then he goes fastball away, and look at that extension. Ball's on the outside black, drives it right to the wall with power. So that tells me simply he's looking away for the fastball and adjusting in for the breaking ball. Pulled the breaking ball when it was inside, drove that fastball to left field when it was away. That was a nice shot.
Breaking ball outside, 2-0.
Yeah, you mentioned Howard's missed 19 games, Utley 45, Jimmy Rollins 70. But Ibanez has played in 150 and Worth 152.
And Victorino's out there every day. He's had a bump or two, though. Adam Dunn. What a good inning for John Lannon. 6 ground ball outs of the 12 he's registered. Top of the order coming up in a 1-0 game. He did nothing with that advantage, and he is down again. Hey, how about John Lannon now? One mistake tonight, the Jason Worth home run. A lot of ground ball outs, pitching well.
Pitching well. Unfortunately, matched up against maybe the best pitcher in the league, and made me think about John being the opening day starter for a couple of years in a row. He's always been matched up with those #1 guys. Won 9 games his first year, 9 games last year. If he can pull this thing out, it would be 3 straight years in a row that he's won 9 games. But always matched up against the opposition's #1.
Espinosa early in the count flies out to RAUL IBANEZ, and the 4th inning is underway. So Espinosa's 0 for 2. Here comes Nyjer Morgan, followed by Ian Desmond. Well, the Nats kids getting a taste of the best in baseball tonight. Nyjer bounced back to the pitcher after Halladay had gone 3-1 on him.
Mercy. That's his changeup. It's got screwball rotation and just the bottom falls out of it. I'd like to see if we can get a shot on the grip of that thing. He hides that ball pretty good in his glove. He's one of the guys that does not take the ball in his hand and then present it in his glove. He starts with it in there.
6'6", 230, 33 years of age. Target in. And he buried that ball in there so far, Nyjer couldn't bunt it fair.
Yeah, that ended up on his left thumb. Let's look at the grip here as he comes out of here with that thing. We just don't see it that well, but that's an actual little cutter. A lot of times there's a splitter. It is a split finger. See how he gripped that thing prior to that? That is a splitter that he throws. And so I read that he threw a splitter, but I'd never gotten affirmation. But yeah, see how he grips that thing? He's gripping that pitch, getting ready to always throw the splitter, and then changes it in his glove.
Well played by Polanco to get Nyjer Morgan. Maybe the Phillies don't get enough credit for their defense. Utley and Polanco have now both made good plays.
Well, he goes a long way, catches that ball behind him on a stiff left leg. That is hard to get the glove down, but you have no choice. The only other thing you can do is dive, but you know that if you dive on that play, the runner's going to beat it out with that kind of speed.
Here's Desmond. The Nats one base runner. Ramos a base hit leading off last inning. Quickly erased on a double play, and Roy Halladay is shutting down the Nats.
It's really one ball hit hard. That was the only ball that's hit hard. Everything else has been on the ground. One fly ball, Espinosa to left field.
Look at that curveball. Bases empty, 2 outs. Bottom 4, Phillies on top by a run. There's another one. Now Morgan better Desmond better be reacting here and not guessing. He reacts and hits it sharply to Valdez. Roy Halladay, very impressive. 1 hit through 4, and the Phillies lead 1-0. As the evening goes on, he had 43 pitches the first 2 innings, and the only run. Jason Worth, lead off, second. It was a bomb.
Fastball right underneath the Phillies' inside corner. He hits it about as far as you can hit it in this ball yard. 5 rows from the top.
Wow.
John only 3 hits, 4 hits, 3 other than that. Has pitched exceptionally well with 2 strikeouts, a lot of ground balls. Hasn't walked anyone yet.
He's retired 8 of the last 9 hitters. And Espinosa should have caught that ball. Carlos Ruiz hits it hard, and Danny just didn't close out the play.
First misplay that I've seen Danny make, and I think he thinks he can reach it, but he needed to jump. He just did not get the glove up there. See, he needed to jump right at the top of the glove. Underestimated how high that ball was. And when it's hit that hard, you better jump quickly.
Here's Valdez. Don't expect him to be bunting with the pitcher next. They've given him a hit. And we're surprised.
Yeah, Danny knows he should have caught that ball.
Phillies have now out-hit the Nats, sort of, 5-1. And a chopper up the middle. Espinosa right at the bag. He will turn the 4-3 double play. Now the base is wiped clean for Roy Halladay coming out.
Good sinker there. Very hard around home plate tonight. Danny actually throws that ball off the wrong foot, but that strong arm compensates. Watch how he gets there and throws the ball off of his left foot.
Here's Halladay, bounced out to Desmond first time.
Yeah, that's the way you do it, 2 for the price of 1, boy.
And John Lennon now 8 ground ball outs. And that's really over the last 3 2/3. He didn't have any in the first. Halladay bounces one over the mound. Here comes Desmond. He's near the bag. And John Lennon continues to pitch well. The question is, can the Nats get any offense going against Halladay?
Pounded into the dirt. Just the one mistake to Utley. The fastball up there to Howard. But the big horse on the other side of the field is just as effective.
Halladay, 50 pitches, 31 strikes through 4. And John Lennon, 72 pitches, 45 strikes through 5, with 9 ground ball outs. For the Nats, Dunn, Morse, and Bernadina, bottom 5.
Great matchup. You can't have a better pitched ball game than this. When somebody gets a hit, the next guy seems to hit into a double play. No sustained offense. Good solid defense. And 2 pitchers.
Barely time to squeeze in our trivia from the smartphone of AT&T. Which 2 players have hit the most home runs in Nats Expos history in their rookie seasons? Well, Desmond has a rookie, has 10. Bernadina has 11.
Zimmerman hit 24.
Morse has 13, but I don't think he's considered a rookie anymore. And Adam Dunn on a high breaking ball fouls it back. Ryan Zimmerman's rookie season. In 06, he had 110 RBIs to go with those 20 home runs.
He hit 20?
Yep. 24 the year after that, then 14 because he missed 48 games in 08, and then 33 last year. 1-1 to Adam Dunn. And he breaks his bat. Right side Utley.
I would go Andre Dawson. And I don't think Wallach hit.
What about Vladimir
18.
Guerrero?
Vlad may have done that. May have hit 30.
There's, Larry Walker could be a guy. I wonder how many home runs those guys hit at Olympic Stadium, which was a cavern.
I could not stand hitting in that ballpark. There was a yellow hue on the ball.
Well, the seats were yellow. And it had that horrendous roof over top that was supposed to open up for beautiful days, but they couldn't get it to work. So they closed it permanently.
Had a French architect to design that thing, and it was supposed to sit down on top of it like an umbrella.
Yeah. And he's probably still laying on the Riviera laughing about it.
Yeah. And they had a 30-story concrete tower that sank about 15 feet into the ground.
Yeah, they said that thing was sinking a foot or two every year.
Yeah. Always wet because you had a hole up there the size oval, the size of this entire stadium, and it rained quite a bit. You could never get the turf dry.
And that turf was hard as a rock. Michael Morse bounced out to shortstop first time. I'll go with Larry Walker for one of them. Since there's so many right-handed pitchers. Michael Morse checks one to left, but it's right at IBANEZ. 2 outs.
How about Walker and Dawson? Walker and Dawson.
All right.
What do you think? Ellis Valentine could be in that group.
We must have at least one, or we wouldn't have the answer this week.
They wouldn't come at us this quickly.
But maybe they are.
Brad Wilkerson.
Holy
20 is all? What did Dawson do his first year?
Bernadina is going to bounce out, and this is an official ball game. Whatever happens with the weather. 5 full innings in the scorebook. Halladay dominates. Lannon outstanding too. game. The Phillies lead 1-0. Victorino, Polanco, and Utley coming up against John Lennon. Each pitcher with 9 ground ball outs. And here's the rest of that list.
Hey, we were
so, Ray, we were very close.
Check.
We would not have had Coco LeBoy, and that, of course, was at Parc Géry.
And that was a small little bandbox of a ballpark. I went to see Tim Foley play up there in 1972. I had a good buddy, Hal Breeden from Albany, Georgia, that played first base for that ball club, splitting time with Ron Fairley. I was playing up in Three Rivers, Canada for Reds AA affiliate, and it was only 90 miles down to Montreal. Gene Mock was the manager. Boy, that takes you back. Rusty Staub was the outfielder. Ken Singleton, Tim McCarver was catching. Bob Bailey was at third base.
1-1 to Victorino. He's 0 for 2. Fly ball to center. Liner to third. Lannon inside. Skips him out of there. 2-1.
Talking about a man that has put up great numbers. Last year, Victorino hit 39 doubles, 13 triples, and 10 home runs, 62 extra base hits. This year he has 25, 10, and 18.
And he hits another one to Gonzalez. He's 0 for 3.
And he's hitting rockets.
No sympathy from here. Now Polanco's coming up, and he's 2 for 2.
But that's a tough feat to hit double-digit doubles, triples, and home runs, Bob.
And the Phillies box score, the only run-producing swing. Jason Worth, leadoff homer, back in the second. Ibanez then doubled with nobody out, but John Lennon got 3 ground balls. And hate to admit it, but there are more Philly fans here than Nationals fans tonight. They drove down to see a chance for a clincher. Liking their chances despite the weather because Roy Halladay's pitching. And he's been brilliant. Polanco 2 for 2, and here's a 2-0 pitch. You pitch him away, you might get a hit to right again. That's high in the zone, and he laid off. They are underway in Atlanta, top of the first. Marlins at the Braves. That's right in there. There are 2 meaningful games in the American League tonight, and the Yankees are not having a good time. At Toronto, they're trailing 7-0 in the 4th. The Orioles just scored in the 5th at Tampa Bay to take a 1-0 lead. The Rays are up a half game on the Yanks. 2-2, way inside. Trying to retire these first 2 guys for the first time tonight is John Lennon. And Polanco, here's a testament to his contact. 47 strikeouts this year in 545 at-bats. That is a contact rate of 86%.
That's pretty good.
And he walked in. Lannon went off speed, missed upstairs. That's John's first walk of the game. I want to correct one thing I had there. It was not 86%, it was 92% contact for Polanco. They get, he doesn't hit the ball 8% of the time. Good looking pitch to Utley, but a low evidently. Chase Utley has struck out looking and bounced into a 3-6-3 double play. That hit him. Utley jams the plate. No effort to get out of the way. 2 on, 1 out. And Ryan Howard coming up. And some of the Philly fans brought those rags with them from their ballpark. They've been waving those all weekend. So they have 2 on without a hit. And Lennon goes front door with a breaking ball and misses. So John suddenly losing command of the strike zone with a walk and a hit batter. And now 2-0 to a very dangerous hitter.
See, and that happens to pitchers, but hitters that are good hitters, they don't lose their patience. So when pitchers start to lose their ability to throw strikes to corners, they get themselves in big trouble. Because the hitters don't expand. Great hitters don't expand.
And a young hitter in September, Ray, on 2-0, he's swinging at everything.
Yes, he is.
Trying to make something happen. And Ryan Howard did get a pitch to work with there.
Oftentimes making up their minds to swing, guessing strike, as opposed to guessing location.
Target in. Howard tips it again. 2-2.
Very good pitch again, exposing that up and in area that he made Howard swing and miss early in the ball game.
John started the inning at 72. 1 out, 6th inning. He's trying to go at least 6 for the 14th time this year. And Howard strikes out on a pitch, diving down and in on him. 2 down. John Lennon has fanned Ryan Howard twice.
UPS pitch sequence here as we see the fastball up. Comes back with another breaking ball inside. The first one he threw fastball out away from him. Then a fastball in. Then a sinker down and in. All of those pitches around 82 miles an hour. On our gun, 85 on the board, but they were all sinkers, basically.
Pitch track packaged by the UPS store. We do a lot more than shipping, like offering moving boxes and supplies.
Huge strikeout, great pitch sequence as he stayed inside, never let Howard get the bat on the ball out away from him. He loves the ball out away from him. And generally, pitchers will make a mistake somewhere in that 5 or 6 pitch sequence because he sees as many pitches as anybody in the league.
Jason Worth 1 for 2. Home run to left, fly ball to right.
A lot of pitches, but very effective. You're going to throw a lot of pitches against a ball club like this. There's just no way that you're not.
That ball drilled to right center. Here comes Utley around third. It's going to drive in 2, and the Phillies lead 3-0. Well, if it's not Utley or Ibanez or Victorino, it's Jason Worth. Someone will hurt you when you face this lineup. And tonight, Jason Worth, 3 RBIs.
Just a lot of pitches you have to throw to good hitters, and eventually one of them is going to get you. The problem is you built a big inning by walking and hitting someone. Breaking ball, middle of the plate, gapper.
How many times this year have national pitchers given up crooked numbers in an inning where there was 1 hit? This is another example. Raul Ibanez is an ex-scheduled hitter, so it's a lefty-lefty matchup. John Lennon scheduled to bat third in the bottom of the sixth, and you'd be surprised if he got pulled here. Jason Worth's RBI total now shoots up to 82, and he's become the latest Nat killer on this Philly team.
Jim doesn't like something.
I wonder if
strike zone. It's got to be about the strike zone. He's saying something about what about the strike zone, or either Utley didn't try to get out of the way of the pitch.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. They might be talking about. Umpires don't call that anymore. The only time they call it is when a hitter obviously leans into a pitch or throws out an elbow or a knee. But they don't simply call that anymore when a hitter just doesn't move and an off-speed pitch hits him. So here's Ibanez, 1 for 2, and that's inside. There was 1 on, 1 out at the time Utley got hit.
Yeah, and it couldn't be arguing balls and strikes or he'd be ejected. So it must be the effort to get out of the way.
Right off the end of the bat, look at this. Look at this. And they almost got the runner. Worth at third on an alert pickup by John Lennon, but Raul Ibanez hits the ball 30 feet and gets a base hit.
Pulls off the ball on the breaking ball, hits it very barely, just nudges it the last quarter inch of the bat.
And Worth did get that. Now John Lennon is done. Right-handed hitter coming up. So Lennon will go 5 2/3. He'll throw a wild pitch, give up a homer, 2 double plays, hit a batter, and give up 7 hits to the Phillies. And as the pitcher of record, could lose his 8th career game against Philadelphia. Craig Stammen coming in for the Nats. 3-0 Phils. Coming up. And Craig Stammen gets the call. This could be a 1-batter appearance for him. Nats pitcher due to that third, bottom of the 6th. So Stammen now, 19 starts. This will be his 35th appearance, so he's getting close to appearing as many times as a reliever as he did as a starter. Carlos Ruiz, 1 for 2 with the base hit the opposite way. And the Phillies are very good at tacking on 2-out runs at the end of an inning. Ruiz has driven in 51 including 38 in his last 50 games. Target in. That would indicate fastball. And he jacks it to the wall and left. Phillies lead 4-0. Approaching third, IBANEZ. And Ruiz has 2 hits.
They just look like they belong in another league, partner. They throw everybody up there, and all those cats can swing the bat. Fastball in. Not a bad pitch inside corner, but not a lot of movement. And he just jumped all over that thing, rocketed it.
They're going to walk Valdez and pitch to Halladay. Ray, there are times they hit against the Nats like they know what's coming.
No kidding. They square baseballs like no one else.
Three-run inning. The bases will be loaded for Halladay, who has 13 hits this year. Let's have a look at our Hollywood Casino League leaders. Action-packed table games, red-hot slots. Hollywood Casino, Charlestown Races, West Virginia. Halladay 4-0 this month. Hamels 4-1. A combined 12-1, the big three.
That's a little ridiculous right there.
And in the playoffs, they can go right, left, right if they want to.
And they don't play around. They got Cliff Lee last year. Halladay starting this season. Oswalt in the back part of the season. I mean, when they acquire somebody, they acquire the best in the business, don't they?
Well, and they spend some money, too, to get these guys.
But yet
we're not talking about $5 million a year guys.
Hardly. Multiply that by about 3 or 4.
And they have to have that kind of pitching, Ray, in their ballpark. They have 3 number 1s in one of the toughest parks in baseball. And if you go in there with a bunch of 3s, 4s, and 5s, you're in trouble.
You're going to get rack attack.
Now, Stammen just threw a breaking ball to Halladay. He's going to have to throw him a fastball here soon. IBANEZ third, Ruiz second, Valdez first.
4-0's manageable.
One out to short for Desmond. He'll shovel it to Espinosa, and he almost missed the bag. 9 Phillies bat, 3 Phillies score. They lead 4-0. Ford like never before. Ford, drive one. Rain falling, just a mist, still here at the ballpark. Nothing that a stop player really affected play, but it's all Phillies 4-0 after 5.5. Last game here Wednesday. Natsville 7:05. First 20,000 fans receive a knit beanie that'll keep you warm all fall and winter long. Go to nationals.com/tickets or call 888-632-NETS. Halladay, 58 pitches, 36 strikes. And I know what he wants to do, Ray. He wants to be standing on that mound in the 9th inning when they're ready to clinch a division title. The box is almost empty. One base hit by Ramos leading off the 3rd. He leads off here. He was erased on a 4-6-3 Gonzalez double play ball.
Nine ground balls, 4 strikeouts, 2 fly balls, both to left field. 1 line drive off the bat of Morse.
And I think the bottom line is, unless something changes here, the Nats can compete with anybody in this division, but the Phillies are light years tougher than the other 3. Atlanta, New York, Florida. And the Nats haven't competed that well against the Marlins. But this team is a whole nother level.
They are.
Look at that against the East. And a 7-9 against the rest of baseball.
Well, they have the
evidently,
pitching.
the more you see him, the less you hit him.
They have the pitching, they have the defense, they have the speed. They don't run that much. You add Rollins, and they have really great team speed.
You know, it's funny. They don't run much, and they have 100 steals.
Yeah.
4th in the league.
And then you add their offense that if you add Rollins, there's not an American League offense that's better than this. Toughest offense to go through from top to bottom by far in the National League.
That ball will hang up for Worth. Ramos has gone to right field twice. Gonzalez coming up. Then the Nats should be hitting for Stammen. Gonzalez, 4-6-3 double play ball, first time. Halladay had him roll, locked up on a breaking ball. Cedarstrom says strike. And there's Kevin Mensch to hit next. Now he goes inside. Every quadrant of the strike zone used by Halladay except the one in the middle. But he doesn't waste any effort with that wind up and that delivery either, does he?
No, he's pretty succinct in everything that he does on that mound. Short with his leg kicked back, real short. It looked like that may have been the splitter that got away from him at 84 miles an hour. He's only thrown a couple of the splitters tonight. He's been so effective with his slider, his sinker, and his changeup, but he's throwing more fastballs up in the strike zone tonight than normal.
Gonzalez has to go down to get one out of play.
That's just his sinker there that throws at the bottom of the strike zone, doesn't try to overpower you. What he's done tonight, when he's thrown his fastball up around the thighs up to the belt, it's been 94, 95. When he throws it down and he's looking for movement, it's 91.
And you pound it into the ground. Ryan Howard, easy out, 2 down.
This is a sinker that I'm talking about. It just eats your hands up as he goes down the seams, and it ends up running in and down right on your hands. Not anything you can do about it because the ball is out there over the plate when you see it. Then when you get to the ball, it's moved about 4 or 5 inches in on your barrel. You end up hitting it short near the trademark. No extension.
Kevin Mensch now 3 for 21 as a pinch hitter, and the Nats are gone in the 6th. Roy Halladay, a one-hitter. Nine outs from now, unless the Nats can do something. And tomorrow, if the Nats can pull this one out, they get to face Roy Oswalt. Now, for the Phillies, Oswalt has been nothing short of impressive. 7-1 with a 1.76 ERA in 11 starts. Hasn't won, though, since he beat the Nats and Jason Marquis in Philadelphia. Jason, 6 solid innings against Houston. 2 runs, got a no decision. Coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. Nats Extra right here at Nationals Park tomorrow night. And by the way, there are a couple of things at stake for Washington here. The Nationals have to win at least one game of this series to guarantee themselves a winning record at home. They have 40 wins right now. Colin Ballister. And of course, that's in the Nats' quest to make it at least to 70 wins by the end of the week. Ballister throwing the ball really well lately. Look at that, 26 strikeouts in 17 innings. And he faces Shane Victorino, who bats left-handed for the first time. Good breaking ball, drops right in 0-2. Is this guy pitching his way into a job next year?
He has done nothing to hurt himself. I guarantee you that. He has come up with that breaking ball that he throws for strikes.
Espinosa hurries and gets Victorino by an eyelash at first.
And Bob, he's always had the plus fastball. You see, he had a tough time getting his breaking ball over, and now there it is, outside part of the plate. Danny Espinosa using that great eye-hand coordination and coming and making a tremendous play. You've got to take up so much ground on that. Can't take a step without transferring the ball, or the guy's going to be safe. He makes the transfer and the step simultaneously and gets him out.
Victorino 0 for 4. Can the Nats retire Polanco? 2 hits and a walk. And his walk with 1 out last inning really got the Phillies going.
Well, you drop that hook on him. He will hit the breaking ball to right field or hit it in the hole like he did with Drew Storen to start that rally off last Sunday in Philadelphia.
And if he doesn't like the pitch, he'll foul it off.
I mean, that's ridiculous to only not put the ball in the play 8% of the time.
Second tour of duty with the Phillies. Polanco was originally traded to them from St. Louis in a deal involving Scott Rowland. Phillies 0-2 through 0-5. Then to Detroit. for Ramon Martinez and Huguet Urbina. Then he had some very productive years with the Tigers. 285 last year. And a breaking ball hit to third. Gonzalez charges, backhand, perfectly played. And that guy can play some third base. Tonight's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals.
Ryan Zimmerman may be the best in the business, but that kid's not that far behind him. He can make some plays at all three positions.
They finally got Victorino and Polanco out. And here's Utley taking a strike.
Well, you let the hitters measure how good you are as a pitcher, and Colin has been used in situations where he's gone right through the middle of the best lineups in the league. And thus far, he's been so effective. 2.04 earned run average this time around. It just looks like a whole different pitcher. And that breaking ball is a difference. When you can throw that thing for strikes consistently and then elevate the fastball at 94, 95. He looks so much more comfortable as a reliever, too, doesn't he, Bob?
Oh, yeah. He just comes out firing for 3 to 6 outs. And he's got Utley all locked up. The ball hit the umpire. And Ramos has time, and he throws out Chase Utley. Phillies are gone in the 7th. Time to stretch. Today's game brought to you by the all-new 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Washington area Hyundai dealers today. And again, the question remains, can the Nats do anything with Halladay, Espinosa? First, next.
Well, he's throwing his fastball exceptionally well. There it is, up and in. Desmond called strike. Another fastball to Adam Dunn, 95 outside. Here is the cutter, down and in. Here's the curveball, down and in. And then he comes back with the sinker right here to get the jam shot from Gonzo to first. So fastball, curveball, sinker, slider. And we have seen at least one splitter, but he hadn't had to throw that tonight too much.
10 ground ball outs of the 18 registered so far. Espinosa, ground ball to second, fly ball to left. Halladay, first pitch strike. What else is new?
Really?
Phillies are 9 outs away from another division title.
Nasty sinker. 93. A lot like Sean Hill with that sinker, running back. I don't know whether to call it a running fastball, a sinking fastball. It does both of each.
There's a busted bat.
That's a cutter. The little cutter, just like Rivera. Look at the motion here, how he just lands with that foot square to home plate, pushes off with the leg hard. Not a drop and drive guy, but I think it's because he's so tall.
6'6".
It finishes up and probably repeats his delivery more consistently than anybody in the league. And that's why he has such good control.
And we haven't talked about this because he is 6'6" and not a drop and drive guy. He has a pretty sharp angle. That's a steep angle that ball's coming from to the hitter. Really downhill. And he strikes somebody out when he has to. That's his first K since the 3rd inning. He's been getting quick outs, and that's his 5th of the game.
And this is just that little bitty cutter that he throws. It's not his fastball. He grips that ball down the seam. You see a little bit of spin there, but it just short little 2 or 3 inch movement up. Just a hitter that a pitch that most hitters don't see. There's that sinker. That's down and dirty. 95. I mean, good Lord blessed him with a whole lot of stuff.
Talent, weapons,
arsenal. Great arm, great makeup, great body.
Trying to win his 169th Major League game.
I love the story when he was with Toronto, and the first year he was there, the trainer would always go in at 6 o'clock, and one morning the trainer came in about 5:30, and Halladay was at the door, and the guy says to him, "What are you doing here so early?" And he says, "Hey, I've already been here an hour and a half. I'm just trying to get in." So he has a habit of getting up at 4:30 in the morning doing his workout, and still the first guy to the ballpark in spring training, but he's already done his workout. That's dedication.
Andrew Morgan to the second baseman, Utley. That's 20 outs with 1 hit. Final game is Wednesday. Stick around after the game. We'll have our final post-game fireworks of the year. Visit nationals.com/tickets, 888-632-NATS. And come and join us on Wednesday night, the final game of this series and at home of the 2010 season.
You're just looking at a brilliant pitching performance. I mean, this right here, we showed you the perfect game. He's 1 base hit from a perfect game. I mean, he is not, nobody's hit the ball hard, but Ramos did 1 time.
That one will hang up for Worth, and this 7th inning is over and out. This is something else. I think you're looking at a future Hall of Famer right here in the clutch.
But we have some exciting things to tell you about the minor league player and pitcher of the year. Now, the minor league pitcher of the year is left-hander Tom Malone. He did outstanding at Harrisburg. He was 12-5 with a 2.85 ERA, 155 strikeouts in 158 innings. He only walked 23. And how about Tyler Moore? He had an outstanding year. You've heard Ray talk about him. He hit .269 with 43 doubles, 31 home runs, 111 RBIs. RBI at Potomac. He led the Carolina League in nearly every offensive category. And, of course, both of these fine gentlemen are going to be on Nats Extra tomorrow. So tune into the pregame show and hear from them yourselves. Bob?
Thank you, Debbie. Hear from them and hear about the future of this organization. Top of the 8th inning. Ryan Howard, 0 for 3. Victorino's 0 for 4. But there are so many weapons in this lineup. Somebody gets you. And tonight it's Jason Worth and Carlos Ruiz.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7 have 6 hits.
That ball's into right field, but Espinosa scoops it on the grass. And Ryan Howard is 0 for 4. 4 straight for Ballister. Let's go back to the 2nd inning. Jason Worth in our Ford drive of the game.
Fastball up and in, and he knew what to do with it. Deposited that thing up there about 40 rows deep, 5 rows from the top of the concrete area where Johnny and Phil. We've only seen one ball hit up there this year. Stanton hit one right down the line that bounced up and in there. He's putting together another great year. Last year, 99 RBIs, 36 home runs.
And warnings have been issued.
Ball. That's a curveball.
That was a breaking ball over Jason Worth's head.
76-mile-an-hour curveball.
This is a rookie umpire who should know what a fastball looks like.
Come on. He says, I understand if that's what it was, but
oh, man.
That's a curveball.
It's a rainy night, and it's a breaking ball.
Well, I'll tell you one person that didn't scare is Jason Worth. And you're supposed to scare the hitter.
This is great, though. Halladay hits somebody, he can get thrown out of the game. So this is where things get really screwed up. Because what if Roy Halladay, who's pitching almost a perfect game, Ray, and one slips out of his hands and he throws one upstairs near somebody's helmet, they could throw him out of the game.
Well, what that tells me is every time a hitter hits a ball hard, the umpire is thinking that they're going to do something to retaliate for that guy hitting the ball hard.
Oh, my gosh, that's never happened in this game before, has it?
No, and I'm sitting up here, I know they're not listening to our telecast because I said, we've got to bust him inside one time. But that's kind of crazy.
What's next? Taking away a pitcher's glove and making him sit in timeout?
Oh, yeah.
It's getting like preschool.
Go over here and draw a little circle on the dugout and put your nose in there for about 15 seconds and we'll be all right.
What's next? Dunce caps for pitchers? Fastball away, and Ibanez can't get it. He's 2 for 3 with a double and a little dribbler, but you watch what happens if Halladay misses and hits somebody. Then the umpire has to turn into a mind reader and figure out if he did it on purpose and can throw him out of the game.
Yeah, there's no.
The guy's pitching almost a perfect game.
There's no oopsies or takebacks in this game. Once an umpire makes that call, it's there. So, but that's just silly. That's a silly call.
There needs to be a call from New York to Washington first thing in the morning, if not right after the game for that one. Been raining for an hour and a half.
Laughable.
Well, Adam Dunn speared that line drive, and Ballister has a chance to retire 6 straight. Off-speed pitch. No tag. It requires a throw, and the Phillies are gone in the 8th. Adam Dunn, Michael Morse, Roger Bernadina, bottom of the 8th coming up. really good scoreless innings for him.
Well, he is just nails right now, Bob. He's throwing the ball exceptionally well with his fastball, but the big change has been his curveball. He's been able to throw that thing for strikes tonight. 85% of his curveballs have been for strikes, and they don't always have to be in the strike zone. Hitters are chasing that thing because the break is so sharp and quick, they're not picking up the rotation. So he may be a huge find for this ball club. Always penciled in as a starter, but now they've moved him to the bullpen, and he seems to really adapted to that role.
Adam Dunn 0 for 2, strikeout, broken bat grounder to second, and a base hit. Nationals have their leadoff man on for the second time tonight. Ramos back in the third. So there were 14 outs in between the two Nationals hits. Michael Morse 0 for 2, ground ball to short. Hard hit line drive to left.
And he's just at 81 pitches.
11 per inning through the first 7. Steady drizzle. Starting to see some of the hitters get their spikes caked up a little. And Morse jacks one. Caught by Polanco. On the backhand side. That was labeled for the left field corner. And the Phillies are 5 outs away.
He came up as a shortstop, played a lot of second, is playing third base. This year, this ball is laced. He hits that ball about as hard as you can, and watch this reaction, just quick reaction, half a step, anywhere else, no chance. The ball was jolted.
And Morse, of course, jolted one to Ibanez and left last time. Here's Bernadina. Roger has been overmatched by Halladay twice, striking out and dribbling one back to the mound. He goes off speed and misses. Not sure I've said 2-0 very much tonight with the Nats hitting. And Bernadina on a 2-0 pitch will pop up. Not what you're looking for there. And Polanco has it. 2 outs here in the 8th. MLB.com at bat 2010 for your smartphone. Live baseball at your fingertips. Real-time play-by-play. Box scores, video highlights, game day audio. Find it at nationals.com.
Roy Halladay led the league in innings pitched in 2002, 2003, 2008, and again here in 2010.
This ball game is into the 9th inning. And the Phillies are 3 outs away from their 4th consecutive division championship. titles against the Nats in the previous 3 years, may be about to do it again. Joe Vicinius will be the Nationals' fourth pitcher. And the Nats have 2 1/3 scoreless from their bullpen tonight. Hard thrower, good stuff. Both of the previous two in Philadelphia on Saturday afternoons. Willie Mo Pena breaking ball, Brad Lidge. And there go the Nats. That was 07. Pretty much the same scenario the following year. Ryan Zimmerman hit the ball sharply in 08. Double play ball, Phillies. They would go on to win the World Series. Last year they went to the series, but the Yankees beat them. So they're looking at 4 consecutive division titles. Carlos Ruiz leads off against Vicinius, top of the 9th.
You ask Charlie Manuel what his key is to managing, and he tells you very simply, I just stay out of their way.
Well, Charlie did one of his finest managing jobs this year, Ray, because this is by far the most injuries the Phillies ever had to deal with.
Yeah, he's only had Jimmy Rollins for 82 games all year long.
Look at Ruiz. This guy's a number 7 hitter. Are you kidding me? 3 for 4 with 2 doubles.
Just short stroke right to the ball. I mean, there's nothing to say about that. Nothing that he does that is anything spectacular. He just gets it started, goes to the ball, and hits the ball square. He's been doing it all year long.
Well, the Philly fans have taken over this ballpark. We were just hoping the Nats would make them take over the park 2 or 3 nights in a row. Phillies in line for their 94th win of the year. And Ray, you and I talked about this the other day. They could rest a few guys down the stretch because nobody is even close to them for home field advantage. The Giants have 88 wins. The Reds have 87. So they're one of the few teams in baseball that could afford to rest just about everybody between now and the weekend and then gear it up.
What really is positive, that is positive about it, is Halladay would go right now on the 2nd, and Oswalt the 3rd, which would be the last 2 games of the year. They had it set up like that if they had to beat the Braves, but now that's not something they're going to have to do. So
as they do finish in Atlanta. So
now Charlie can do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to give Halladay all this time off, he can. That won't happen because he's going to probably need to toe that rubber one more time.
But he could throw in just 5 innings.
I think that what he'll do is start him in Atlanta, and if the playoff starts in the 6th or 7th, base it like it's one of the side days where he throws maybe 3 innings, maybe 4 innings, almost treat it like a spring training to get him loosened up, worked up. Go out there and maybe throw 40, 50 pitches and then have him strong and ready for opening day of the playoffs. And he has Oswalt the same way. Now, once you get to Oswalt's situation, you're talking about 4 days before the playoffs, and it just lays perfectly for the 5th day for him also. And then you'd have Hamels ready to go. But Hamels has been a guy that's been the World Series MVP. I mean, if they decide that they want to start a left-hander, so against a dominant left-handing hitting ball club, you could always go with Hamels. But I just don't think they would do that with Halladay having the year he's had.
They're going to get the lead runner at 3rd on a bad base running play by Ruiz. Strike 3 got away, and Ramos gunned him out.
Smart play by our catcher, making a play like that with nobody out, looking up, having the presence of mind, ball going that way, just following the baseball. And the runner at second deciding to go ill-advisedly to third. Need to drop that tag right on the bag. You don't need to reach for him.
Yeah, he would have slid right into it. Here's Halladay. Probably the best thing for the Phillies would be if he would hit the first pitch into a double play here. Get him off the field and ready for the ninth inning. Or have him bunt and he fouls it.
They don't ever quit playing.
No.
Right?
Most complete team we've seen in this league, and we sure get to see a lot of them.
I think the Giants will match up well against them because they can throw Sanchez, Lynchcomb, and Kane if it gets to that.
And that ball over Halladay's head on an attempted bunt. And that was 83 from Basinia, so that was a changeup.
That was a foul ball too, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did foul it. Somehow.
Got a runner on second base thinking that it wasn't. Let's see if he...
Yeah, he fouled it.
Well, that's a dangerous thing. Now, that is something that will give Charlie a little bit of heartburn.
And they had Valdez running on that pitch.
That's a little weird.
What's that?
Having him run on that pitch. He's going again.
Halladay's gone. Stolen base for Valdez, 2 outs.
The reason I say it's weird, if he bunts the ball in the air, it's a double play. So you're just trying to get him down there. You're sacrificing your pitcher to get him down there. So seldom you see a manager send a runner when the bunt is in order because you pop it up as a double play.
Roy Oswald, Jason Marquis tomorrow night, same time here on Masson. I just wonder how much the Phillies will celebrate because they have their expectations far beyond winning a division.
But it never
now, it
changes.
is the culmination of a long season of work, Ray.
It never changes, buddy.
I think this one would be more than, I don't know, say winning the division series because they want to go all the way.
You got to get there, though. You got to get there, and the toughest thing is to get there. Once you get there, you've got to win basically 7, 8, 10 ball games, and you got to get there. The long haul, the season, with injuries, prone to injury, anything can happen. This is where you're proud and your chest pokes out when you win and you're able to get to the playoffs. And it's just a matter of continuing to play well and hope that your starting pitching holds up because it really generally boils down to who pitches the best and wins those series.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Victorino, who's 0 for 4. Rain coming down a little bit harder, but we have played this game to this point without interruption. Now the runner going to third. Three and two. Arm wrapped. Hasn't broken much of a sweat tonight. 87 pitches and 8 innings. And a 3-2. Victorino fouls it.
Bob, going back to that celebration, I remember the celebration after you win your division being second only to the World Series celebration.
This one represents the long haul, right?
Yeah. And then the League Championship Series celebration, you do celebrate that, but now you're going to the World Series. That celebration better not be very long because you've got the big enchilada sitting right there in front of you. But the culmination of a long season, 162 games, withstanding all kinds of obstacles and able to win your division and get there.
By the way, Atlanta has scored a run. Fifth inning, they lead the Marlins as they fight for a wild card spot. The Dodgers at Colorado leading 2-0. Things not going well for the Rockies. And the Padres, in about 45 minutes, will start their home game with the Cubs.
I think a part of that conversation there from a caddy is you've got to be able to pay attention to this runner now. Don't let him run all over the ballpark because he certainly isn't paying any attention to Valdez, and that's one thing to pitch up here. You're going to have to be able to control the running game a little bit.
There's a base hit, and the Phillies score again. All the way to third base goes Victorino, who is running on the pitch. And Polanco is 3 for 4.
Yeah, they're going to run on you when you're that slow to the plate, and you're just basically enticing them to run.
Chase Utley is 0 for 3, hit by a pitch earlier.
You mentioned Polanco. He has a .303 lifetime batting average, hitting .299 as we speak right now. And he just perfect number 2 hitter. Jimmy Rollins, ideal leadoff hitter. Then you take Victorino and move him to the 7 hole. Now you have Ruiz hitting 8th with about 60, 65 RBIs. Just think of that. Rollins, switch hitter. Polanco, right-handed. Utley, left-handed. Howard, left-handed. Right, left.
And then if Rollins is back in, Victorino might be your number 7 or 8 guy.
Yeah, 7-hole hitter is where he'll hit. Switch hitter there. Well,
and Bassini is falling behind again. He's given up 2 hits. Struck out 2, 1 in the dirt. A walk in the inning, and the Phillies lead 5-0. Thing is, they might have had the run they needed when Worth went deep in the 2nd inning. Nats haven't had a base runner beyond first base of the 2 they've had. Utley, left center. Long way for Morgan, and Niger will miss the ball. 2 runs will score, and it's 7-0. He got there and couldn't finish.
I want to see this again because it did not look like Niger. I don't know if he didn't see the ball, if the rain was in his eyes, but he's running along with that ball. I mean, he's not sprinting after that ball.
Hit on the thumb of his glove.
I mean, the first 5 or 6 steps, he's running, but it's not a sprint. He took a funny angle. I mean, that ball hung up there forever.
Here's Ryan Howard, 0 for 4.
That was a weird looking play right there. Let's look at this play one more time and watch Nigel as he breaks on this ball. He starts, and look at him right here. He starts trotting, and then he hits the gas right there at the last deal. So I don't know what happened on that. Looked like he had it geared. Maybe it was that wind from the Anacostia that took it farther away from him than he thought. That does sometimes happen, but somewhere in the middle of that, he broke stride for about 4 steps and then had to shoot the juice to it a little bit to get there. He gave him the hit on it, but from up here, it was a very catchable baseball without going to the turf.
Yeah, Utley getting 2 RBIs. 3-0 to Howard. 4-pitch walk. And Vicenius now can't get anybody out. 4 consecutive base runners. That'll be his second walk of the inning. And Jim Riggleman's going to get him out of there. Miguel Batista on to try to get the final out here in the top of the 9th. Well, the Phillies aren't exactly backing their way in, are they? They are blasting their way to a division title with a little help from the Nats tonight. Verizon Fios Nats Extra straight ahead. Halladay and Lannon, pretty good duel for a while. John ran into problems in the 6th. Bullpen, at least Joe Vicenius hasn't had a good evening here. And we'll look ahead to Game 2 tomorrow night. Jason Marquis, Roy Oswald. Miguel Batista, appearance number 56. Jason Worth, the hitter, 2 for 4 with a homer, 3 RBIs. First pitch breaking ball.
Bob, you would think with this much of a lull for Roy Halladay that they might have somebody getting loose in the bullpen with the game, almost out of reach.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he's sitting over there. I guess if he waits over there an hour, he's going to finish it.
Well, he played for some pretty good hitting teams in Toronto. I'm sure he's had some long sits before.
Yeah, the 9th inning, 7-0 ball game. He's just going to finish. He's a finisher. That's what he is.
I told you, he wants to be on the mound in the 9th inning.
He does.
He doesn't even know what a quality start is.
You know, he really does. He really doesn't. I mean, he goes out there, and his expectations are he's going to be out there and work the ball in 9th inning.
Here you go, Ray. He's gone 7 at least for the 28th time. 8 innings at least for the 15th time. And he's 3 outs from his 9th complete game. He has 57 career complete games. Worth in the air to right. Michael Morse near the line, foul ground, tough play, and a fan gets in the way, and the umpire is going to call it safe, which means no out.
Which means
Gary Cederstrom looking right at the play with a fan interfering and giving the safe sign, and Jim Riggleman wants to know why.
Well, he's going to say that the ball was over the imaginary line that you would draw straight up from the top of that padding. And once it's there, then it's anybody's ball. If he reaches out over that padding on the other side of the imaginary line, it's just like the goal line. You break that plane, and it would be fan interference.
And the replay, I think the replay indicates it's a pretty good call. The fan is really not reaching onto the field of play. He's just kind of right above that line, but not over it. Can't tell under the raincoat whether he's a Philly or a Nets fan.
Cederstrom is right there on top of that thing.
He's next to a Phillies fan.
Hey, is that one of those plays that you could go to the video replay on? Or does it have to
I don't think so.
It have to be the outfield wall.
Yeah.
Cost the Chicago Cubs a playoff game or a chance to
go to the World Series.
Morse Alou.
2-2 to Worth.
The only man in the lineup that hasn't done any damage tonight is Howard. He has walked. Victorino, 2 line drives and a walk. Everyone else contributing.
7 runs, 11 hits. Runners going on a 3-2, and Worth will bounce it right to Dunn. And he misses Jason Worth, and a run scores from second base on an infield hit. Everything bouncing and rolling right for the Phillies. Well, balls that are uncatchable.
Very tough play, but as a first baseman, you got to make up your mind you're going to get this ball and get to it before the runner gets there.
See, Adams waiting.
Yeah, you can't wait on the ball. Can't wait on the ball. You got to go get it as hard as you can and tag the runner before he gets to you. Or let it go foul.
You know, that's as close as I've ever seen to somebody stealing first.
There you go. I think Adam may have thought that ball was going to kick off for their foul. Once that he gets to that point, this no man's land, you might as well let it roll. But what you have to do on that play is go get it.
Charge hard. 9th man to bat in the inning, IBANEZ. 8-0. Evidently, the Philly fans want blood and more. It seems like they've all moved over to the third base side. Jose Contreras now is throwing for the Phils as this inning drags and drags on.
I think that's the pertinent thing to do. It's getting wet out there. It's just still misting. It has been since about the 3rd inning. got to be a decision that manager makes, because if he asks Roy, what will the answer be, Bob?
You know what he's going to hear. I'm going out there. Philly's getting ready for a celebration. Cincinnati could be celebrating tonight without playing. Their magic number's 1. Pittsburgh leads 4-2 at St. Louis, 5th inning. Top of the 9th here, 8-0 Phils. Ball 2.
There's such good pitching left in the teams that are vying for playoffs. It might be a little bit like that CC Sabathia and Wright outing, where they both went 9 innings. Neither one of them gave up a run, and Tampa Bay wins 1-0. Because there's some great matchups to look forward to in the upcoming playoffs.
And of course, our buddy Wayne Rosenthal, we call him Rosie, and his staff, probably hanging the plastic already in the Phillies clubhouse. Matt Rosenthal, pardon me. So many nicknames in the ballpark, you forget first names. I think Wayne Rosenthal was a major league player, but we call him Rosie. And they'll be getting ready to take care of business in there. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Has an 8-0 lead, 2 hits, 8 complete innings, and he's not smiling.
That ball drilled at Morgan, and the top of the 9th is over. Phillies pick up 4 runs, and they are getting ready to clinch a division title.
Eight innings. He's only faced 1 hitter over the minimum. The 1 inning they got up, the Nats got more than 3 guys to the plate.
Right, so the Nationals still have a shot here in the bottom of the 9th, 8-0 Philadelphia leading. Let's go now to Debbie Taylor. Debbie?
Okay, thank you very much, Johnny. The Phillies are now 3 outs away from their 4th consecutive trip to the postseason. This is what all teams are fighting for. Once the game is over, they will go into the clubhouse and celebrate. They will pop the champagne, and this bottle says back to back to back to back postseason appearances. And there will be 15 cases of this champagne on ice. And once again, that's what all the Nats fans hope that will be in the future of this organization, a taste of their winning ways that the Phillies will be celebrating tonight. Bob?
They were eliminated, swept in their first postseason of this streak by the Colorado Rockies back in 07. They went to the World Series, won at 08, went to the series, lost at 09, and getting ready for their 4th consecutive division title. Alberto Gonzalez against Halladay. Broken bat, foul ball.
And Roy sat in that dugout for 20-plus minutes.
Is that all it was?
I know it was more than that. I don't know exactly how much, but I know he was in there for a long time with only his pitching jacket on that right arm and a towel draped over around his neck. And you just wonder how he stays loose.
I think it's called 13 years in the big leagues.
Yeah, but that arm, that arm's had a lot of
He's only now throwing his 90th pitch, and it's lined right to Polanco. Nats have had a few good swings tonight, about a half dozen of them. 2 hits and 3 or 4 other balls right at fielders. And Adam Kennedy will bat with 1 out here in the 9th.
Well, Morse hit 2 ropes. Gonzalez hit that ball really hard there. Got the base hit by Ramos to right. 4 for sure. Dunn base hit. That's 5.
Low and inside to Adam Kennedy. Kennedy, right field, but it's hanging up for Jason Worth. Roy Halladay pitching to contact, and Charlie Manuel about to lead the Phillies into October again. Last hope for the Nats, Danny Espinosa. Field level seats on the third base side behind the Philly dugout, pretty full. Crowd of 14,000, 309 tonight, and the 0-1 coming. Phillies, Eastern Division champions, 4 years in a row.